Welcome back to Movement is Medicine. Today we're going to be taking a look at the incredible piece of bioengineering that is the human spine. Its full range of motion has evolved over 370 million years. The dinosaurs kind of just walk like that, and a lizard too, if you see it. But our mammalian ancestors, all those furry fellas, needed to get themselves into lots of different positions in order to clean their fur. So we tend to stay on our axis, but our spines are capable of much more. From rotation to side bending, flexion and extension. Yeah, that's a forward bend and a back bend. How often are you doing these in daily life? Even sitting at the computer, you can bring in some spinal mobilizations while you're at the desk. So I hope today's video will inspire you to move your spine more, because this is the medicine that your back needs. Let's get started. Placing your feet shoulder width apart, bending your knees to create a little bit of bounce, suppleness. This is the root of our flexibility and the grounding posture for all of our movements today. We're going to start with a movement from Qigong called knocking at the door, making your hands into fists. One hand is going to knock in this area here, just above the bladder, just below the belly button, here. And the other hand is going to knock just above your sacral bone. This is the basic movement. You can see why it's called knocking at the door. Making your hands loose, your arms loose. Remember to keep breathing. If you like, synchronize the movement and the breath, keeping that bounce in the knees. Nice. We're going to vary this. Now the back hand is going to hit around the area of the kidney and the lower back, and the front hand is going to hit here in the upper chest. So on the other way, hitting the lower back here and the chest between the pecs and the shoulder. Movement is medicine, but vibration too. This gentle knocking increases circulation and mind-body awareness, letting your energy flow. Remember to breathe. Now we're going to vary, placing our hands in the middle, coming over to one side, and the back hand is hitting the sternum. The back hand hitting the chest bone, the sternum. Where the back hand hits, you'll find the thymus gland, the center of our body's immune system. Always good to revitalize that area. Getting into the movement, a gliding, flowing movement. Relaxing those shoulders, and remember to breathe. Think like water, liquidity. Nice. Okay. That was some nice rotational exercises. We're going to move on now to an exercise which creates an S motion, forwards and backwards in the spine, by placing your palms forward, dropping your shoulders, and try to push back with your upper back here, the area behind your lungs and behind your heart, pushing back to arch the upper back. And then turning your hands to face backwards at the same time as bringing your chest forward. Proud chest. Can you see how this works? I'm arching and I'm coming forward. And I'm arching in the opposite direction, dropping my hips as I do. Check in with your hips at the same time and remember to breathe. However you want to breathe, however feels good to you, it's good for me. Good. 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 So we're going to move on now to an exercise which engages an S motion, forward and backwards in the spine. By placing your palms forward and lifting your chest, a proud chest, like a robin, like a full-breasted bird. Good. We're going to move on now to an exercise that creates an S motion in the spine, fully mobilizing and making some space in there. We're going to start by lifting your chest, pushing your chest forward, and dropping your shoulders back. At the same time, your palms are facing forward, and as you come to drop your shoulders forward, your hands, your palms come to face backwards, and you're going to create a little bit of an arch, a little bit of a humpback. Coming forward, opening those palms, lifting up your chest, and looking down, shoulders forward. Nice. Shoulders back, and shoulders forward and palms back. Shoulders backward and palms forward. Try to relax and flow with the motion. Your arms can go a little bit wide as they move. So you're engaging your shoulders, the rotation, and a forward bend and a back bend at the same time, just opening up the whole back. Remember to breathe. Nice. How are you feeling now? Let's get some side bending in. Let's work the sides now. So place your right hand mirroring me. This is my left hand, but I want you to place your right hand on your hip. And with your left hand coming up, and it's going to be, the palm's going to be facing to the other direction. Okay, you won't see my hand, but that's how it's going. And push. Taking a moment to breathe. A stretch is not about pushing yourself as far or as hard as you can. It's It's about coming to that first point of resistance, that first barrier where the body says, hey, hang on a minute, and hanging out here. Breathing into the area that's being activated. You can drop your left knee a little bit, reach up a little bit higher with your right hand now that your right side, your left side, my right side, your left side is opening up. Coming down, same the other side. Your left hand on your left hip, your right hand opening up. Push. Remember to breathe. Maybe you can bend your right knee a little bit. Drop your right hip. Reach up a little bit higher with your right hand. Nice. And coming down into neutral. Now both hands on the hips, and let's just bring in a little bit of a hip mobilization, lifting up your left foot and your left hip, coming down to the ground and lifting up your right hip and your right foot. So we're just stepping, but at the same time as stepping, engaging the hips. All movement is coming from the hips. It's coming from the core and activating through the hips. You can rock a little bit, however feels natural to you. Slow it down. Coming into the center, checking your stance, bent knees, feet still shoulder width apart, hands on both hips. One hip comes forward, one hip comes back. One hip comes forward, and one hip comes back. The shoulders swing, the knees moving a little bit like on a bike. Slow, fluid motions now, bringing your shoulder round a little bit further and the back shoulder back more. Now we're going to follow the back shoulder with our eyes. Looking over your back elbow and hanging out there, hanging out for a second or two. And the other way. Following the back. Yeah, if you like, when you get into that, just hang out for as long as feels comfortable. And see how that affects your hips. Nice. Coming back into the center now. Placing your hands, your palms of your hands on your shoulders. Let's just move the shoulders up and down. I want you to feel with your fingers your shoulder blade and scapula at your back and see how it moves with your body as one shoulder goes up and one shoulder goes down. Just feeling for whatever is present with your fingertips. Noticing how the shoulders and the neck are engaged in the movement. That engages also the hips and the knees in this swaying, freeing, free-flowing, wavy motion. Nice. Coming back into the center. Palms facing up. Shoulders back. Looking up. Rolling your hands forward and looking down again. Hanging out here this time. Looking down at the floor. This time we're looking up. Chest is forward. Shoulders are back. And let's just stay looking at the ceiling for a moment or two. Pushing your hips forward, your chest forward and your shoulders back. Engaging the core. And coming down to look forward, shoulders forward, back, back. Looking at the floor. Keeping your hips, your knees bent. Nice. Palms are coming together now. Moving in front of your body. The lower fingers are going to meet. And this finger, the index finger, pointing out and the thumb up. Looking over to your right. And looking over to your right. And looking over to your left. Looking over to your left. Nice. Palms facing up. Arms move forwards. Palms face each other and your hands come together. The lower fingers are going to interlock. Index finger stays pointing out and the thumb pointing up. Looking over to your left. Hips, more or less, staying aligned, staying straight. Knees staying bent. Yeah, you got that? Good. Looking over to your left. And looking over to your right. Remember to breathe. This time we're going to stay here for a moment or two. Checking in with the hips, checking in with the back, checking in with your shoulders. Shoulders loose, hips loose. And when you feel ready, coming back over to your right. Hips loose, drop your hips, drop your shoulders. Give it a smile. Coming forward. This time, when you're in the middle, we're going to be going up. We go up like this until you reach the top. And bring your feet closer together. And leaning over to your left. Not just leaning over though, you're pointing up and you're pointing diagonally. So make your body, your whole body go in the direction of your fingertips. Looking up, pushing up from your feet, up from your knees and up from your hips and up from your back. Up from your arms, as if you want to reach out and touch the star you are pointing towards, beyond the roof, beyond the sky, up into the cosmos and up into the heavens. Breathing and out, and coming down. Down and into the middle. Index finger still pointing up. Thumbs on your heart. Same again, we're going to go up. And this time over to the right. Diagonally. Checking in with our feet, checking in with our hips. Going over diagonally and looking up. Not just looking up. Pointing with our whole body from our feet to our knees to our hips. Checking in with your back, checking in with your breath. Whole body is moving up. Nice long breath out, coming back into the middle. Now relax your hands, relax your knees. Feet still close together. And our hands this time loose, but together. Are coming up. You're going to stand on your tiptoes and look up. Not so easy, is it? Try to look at one fixed point. A fixed point that is not going to move. Like a bump in the ceiling or some kind of texture. And see if you can hold it there for 30 seconds. On tiptoes. Open your back. Open your shoulders, making some space between the vertebrae. And hands coming down to the side, heels on the floor once more. Hands coming down, feet shoulder width apart, palms facing up, hands coming together now into the heart. How does your heart feel? Is there more space now for you to be after this 20-minute workout? Checking in with the breath. Give it a loose, relaxed, slow, sensual shake. And that's it from me for today. Have a good one. Thank you.